Shabbat Shalom. In our Torah portion this week, we read of an unfortunate and all too common occurrence, an incident, one who emerges from within our people. It's called Migadef, the blasphemer. It's a person, as the Torah describes, Vayetzei ben Isha Yisraelit, that this person came forward from amongst the Jewish people, and he cursed God's name and was therefore punished, as the Torah describes. And the sages spend a good deal of time, spill a good deal of ink, trying to figure out what this person did, what triggered them, what set them off. Why did they come to this point from being a part of the people to then turning against the people and turning against God? And according to one tradition, it was a very specific issue that triggered this person. You see, there is this law described in our Torah portion this week called the lechem hapanim. There's this concept, we call it the showbread, that once a week they would put bread out on the shulchan, on the table that was in the Beit HaMikdash, that was in the Holy Temple, in the Mishkan before that. But there would be loaves of bread, and the bread would stay there all week. And then on Shabbat, the Kohanim would eat of the bread. The bread sitting outside all week. And one of the miracles of the Beit HaMikdash, one of the miracles of the Holy Temple, was that this bread never became stale. And this person saw the bread sitting out all week and became enraged and said, "This is not befitting God's honor. How dare you place this bread outside and have it sit there all week? It should be fresh bread for Shabbat." It's a very unusual thing to become excited about. But ultimately, if we take a step back, this person was advocating for the honor of God. This person was stepping up and saying, "God deserves better than this. How can you let this bread sit out all week?" And then suddenly they turn around and they're cursing God. God forbid. How does this happen? How do they turn from one cause to another? And I saw a comment this week of a work called the Yalkut Yehuda, where he said very simply, this is the way with extremists and with agitators. Sometimes it's not really the cause itself, as much as it is the desire to become excited and agitated about something. And so somebody who is advocating for God's honor and marching for one cause this week, and sometimes it could be a cause that one agrees with and that is a virtuous cause, could just as easily the next week be marching against God and be called this migadef, as the Torah describes them, the blasphemer. This happens from within our people. This happens from without as well. As we see, unfortunately, in our society, too many people who are drifting towards the extremes and sometimes don't even understand the cause that they're advocating for or against and the ramifications of that cause. This might be a generous way of looking at people who have taken up common cause with murderers and with terrorists, and to say that maybe they don't understand what exactly they're saying. Maybe a generous way of looking at it. But either way, I think it does describe so much of what troubles society, which is that people drift towards the extremes and are willing to protest and advocate and act on behalf of causes that they haven't fully internalized or they don't quite understand, but simply are looking for a cause, looking for a way to disrupt in certain ways. Maimonides speaks about the Shvil HaZahav, about the golden path, about what Aristotle called Metron Ariston, the golden mean. The way of achieving success in life is by navigating that middle path and trying to understand and be discerning. There are many things in life that are worth getting excited about, that are worth agitating for, that are worth advocating for. Activism has such an important part in our society and in our Jewish tradition as well. But it has to be measured. It has to be something that comes from a place of balance and understanding what's important and what's peripheral to this world. That's how the Torah describes this migadef, this blasphemer. It's a person who had no balance, no sense of being measured, no way to understand that to advocate and fight for God's honor one week and then against God the next week was inconsistent and made no sense within their own world's view, but were simply looking for a cause. This is part of the challenge, is to restore balance to our world, to our community, and to articulate the need and advocate for the need for that balance, and to fight against extremism in every form that it expresses itself. Wishing you a Shabbat Shalom.